Hello everyone. In this video we are going to look at the examples of molecules with lone pair of electrons on the central atom. So we're talking about predicting the shapes of molecules based upon the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Now we already covered the VSEPR theory postulates in one video, and also the examples of molecules with no lone pair of electrons on central atom. Those two videos we already covered it separately. Maybe you can take a look at it if in case you have not done. And if you talk about the importance of the lone pair of electrons, so why are we talking specifically about the examples of molecules having a lone pair of electrons on central atom? The lone pair of electrons, right, the basic difference is, if you talk about a central atom A, okay, so the lone pair will be possessed. So the lone pair is possessed only by the central atom, okay, and it means what? That will be closer to the nucleus. Whereas if you talk about a bond pair, right, let's say A is forming a bond with another atom B, the bond pair will be farther from the nucleus. So the lone pair will be occupying more space around the nucleus, and as a result, right, they will be able to create higher repulsions. In the sense, if you have another lone pair, okay, so you look at it, the repulsions, because they are closer, right, in terms of the proximity, lone pair and lone pair, they will be closer. So the lone pair repulsions will be of a higher order than lone pair and bond pair. So lone pair, bond pair, the order of repulsions will be lesser. If you have another bond, let us say A is forming another bond with C, the bond pair repulsions will be what? The bond pair and bond pair repulsions will be what? Even lower order. So if you compare the order of magnitude of these repulsions, right, lone pair repulsions will be stronger than the lone pair bond pair, which will be stronger than bond pair and bond pair. Now what will be the effect of this? If we have the lone pair repulsions being stronger, what we will be able to see is that they would distort. So they will be distorting the bond angles. They would distort the bond angles, okay. And in general, if you look at what is it that we are concerned when we talk about molecules having lone pair of electrons on central atom, one, the bond angles are going to be distorted because of the presence of the lone pairs, okay. And what is the main reason for this? The order of repulsions. And if you talk about the shapes of molecules, right, in case of the molecules with no lone pair of electrons on central atom, say we talk about BF3, okay, so the valence electron pairs will be arranged as per the trigonal planar geometry, okay. So the trigonal three valence electron pairs are there, they will be arranged as per the trigonal planar geometry. Now since all these are bond pairs, right, in the direction of the bond pair you will be having the fluorine atom sitting over there. So if we talk about the shape of the molecule, right, because if you look at the shape of the molecule as per the X-ray diffraction technique or other methods, what you will be able to see is only the nuclei of the atoms. We will not be able to look at the electrons, which means what? We will see the fluorine here, another fluorine here, another fluorine here, and boron at the center. Which means what? You can see that the shape of the molecule is what? It is a trigonal planar. So since in case of the molecules with only bond pairs, right, each bond pair direction will be occupied by one other atom. So the overall shape of the molecule can be straight away given based upon the geometrical arrangement of the valence electron pairs, based upon the minimal repulsion theory that is predicted based on the VSEPR postulates. But when it comes to the lone pair existence, if say for example A is the central atom, okay, so it is bonded to 3 atoms of B, okay, and there is a lone pair. The thing is, when you want to look at the shape of the molecule, right, see, as per the geometrical arrangement, you will also count the lone pair separately. Means, we will say there are 4 valence electron pairs. Arrangement will be what? If there are 4 valence electron pairs, means tetrahedral arrangement, correct? So, but when it comes to the shape of the molecule, right, you cannot see this one. The lone pair we will not be able to see. What we can see? Only the nuclei of the atoms present. So you will see the atom A nucleus and the 3 atoms of B nucleus. So which means what? the shape of the molecule is going to be different from what is the predicted geometry. How it is going to be different, we'll have to look at the examples. Okay, so these are the two aspects that we need to keep in mind when we are talking about the molecules having the lone pair of electrons. Now the other thing that we need to keep in consideration is, since we say that the lone pair they have more repulsions and they occupy more space around the nucleus, when we talk about molecules having both lone pair and bond pair, right? If say it is a linear arrangement, like you have the central atom and it will have two positions on either side. Both the positions are what we'll say symmetric. If you have a trigonal planar arrangement, okay, so trigonal planar means we'll have how many positions? 3 positions, 1 2 3. All three are what? Symmetric. If you have tetrahedral, we cannot represent tetrahedral in a planar sheet because it is a 3D arrangement, but yeah, tetrahedral will have how many positions? 4 positions. All will be symmetric, correct? But starting from trigonal bipyramidal, we already seen what is trigonal bipyramidal. We'll have 3 positions in the plane. So what is trigonal bipyramidal? We'll have 3 positions in the plane. Okay, so this is the trigonal planar, and 1 above the plane and 1 below the plane. Okay, the 3 positions in the plane we'll call them as what? Planar positions or the equatorial positions. The 1 above the plane and below the plane we'll call them as what? We'll be calling them as the axial positions. Okay, now when we talk about the trigonal bipyramidal, the lone pairs would be taking up those positions because all the 5 positions are not symmetric here. Okay, the 3 positions we can number them 1 2 3 in the plane, they are of same nature, they are all identical. The axial positions, they both are identical, but an axial position is not equivalent to a planar position. Since the lone pair of electrons, they create more repulsions, like the way we'll commonly look at this, right? If in a classroom there are 3 students, imagine, and they are making noise. In fact, this is the example that we have discussed while introducing the concept of the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. If say all 3 are making noise, but let's say Ram is making more noise, then we will try to accommodate Ram in a position which is more secluded. Okay, that will have minimal interactions, isn't it? Same way, I mean, generally we will try to keep all the 3 people far away, in the sense they will have minimal interaction, so that that class will be more peaceful. But if one of them is more noisy, what we'll try to do, we'll try to keep him in a more secluded place, isn't it? So we'll give the lone pair of electrons positions where they will be having minimal repulsions, means we are trying to give them preferential position. The lone pair will be having what? Preferential position whenever we have the asymmetric positions. Asymmetric positions are going to come from where? They will be coming from the trigonal bipyramidal onwards. Trigonal bipyramidal, same octahedral also will have asymmetric positions. Pentagonal bipyramidal also will have asymmetric positions. So in trigonal bipyramidal, what is the preferential position that the lone pair of electrons will take? They will be first given, because the lone pair are creating a stronger repulsions, right? They will be given the first preference to occupy the planar positions. When it comes to the octahedral, octahedral means what? We already talked about this. Octahedral means what? We'll have 4 positions in the plane. Okay, so we'll have 4 positions in the plane. These are the 4 planar positions. 1 is above the plane, 1 is below the plane. So our octahedral, the preferential position for the lone pair will be what? Axial. We need to see the difference. Trigonal bipyramidal, what is the preferential position? Planar position. Octahedral means what is the preferential position? Axial. Okay. When it comes to pentagonal bipyramidal, pentagonal bipyramidal means what? You'll have a plane which contains 5 positions. Okay, so 5. Okay, and of course 1 position will be above the plane. I am indicating this with the dotted line. 1 is below the plane. So we'll have what is this called as pentagonal bipyramidal. Okay, so this is about the preferential position for the lone pairs. How do you remember it? It will start from only the trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal means what? Planar positions. We are going to first give them for the lone pair. That is the preference. And octahedral means lone pairs will be starting with the axial position. That is the preference for them. Again, pentagonal bipyramidal means lone pairs are going to take which position? planar position. Okay, so these three things we have to remember. This is an important one. Why? Because when we are talking about the shapes of the molecules, right, this is going to be an important point. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll start with some examples. So let us start with the first example where we have three valence electron pairs. In that, two are the bond pairs and one is the lone pair. Okay, so let us look at it. What is the general representation we can think of? A, B, 2E means there is the central atom A and the two atoms of B and one electron pair. That is the lone pair of electron on the central atom. Look at this. There is a lone pair of electron on the central atom. Here we have a bond pair. Here we have a bond pair. Totally, what is the number of valence shell electron pairs? 3. 3 means what is the arrangement? The arrangement is a trigonal planar. Okay. And here what do we expect? We'll expect the trigonal planar means we'll expect the angle between the electron pairs to be how much? 120. But if you look at it, what actually is going to happen? You'll have a lone pair. Okay, so here we have a bond pair. Here we have a bond pair. What is the order of repulsions? Lone pair, bond pair will be more than bond pair. Bond pair means these repulsions, right? Lone pair will repel the bond pair electrons more strongly. So as a result, what happens is these two bond pairs will approach a little bit closer. So what we see is the actual bond angle, right, between the two bonds will be what? This theta will be less than 120. As per the geometrical arrangement or the arrangement of the valence shell electron pairs, we expect that the angle between the bonds is what? 120. But why it is coming less than 120? Because the lone pair bond pair repulsions are stronger, so that will push the bond pair electrons a little bit closer to other bond pair electrons. Okay, and the other thing is the shape of the molecule. If you have a molecule like this, right, what will be the shape? Remember what we said in the experimental methods to find the shape. We will only be able to know the positions of the nucleus, correct? So we'll see the A nucleus, we'll see the B nucleus, we'll see another B nucleus. So what is the shape we see here? It is what we call as the bent shape. So that is what is the difference we are talking about. The arrangement of the valence shell electron pairs is what? Trigonal planar arrangement. The three valence shell electron pairs are given what? Trigonal planar positions. But when it comes to shape of the molecule, this lone pair we will not be able to see it. We will only see the positions of the nuclei, which means what? You will see what is the actual shape you see here? Bent shape. So if you look at what are the examples of such molecules, right? So what are the examples of such molecules we have? We have SO2 and then ozone. So first we'll start with ozone. Ozone is an important molecule. We talked about it very often, like we talked about ozone when we are discussing the coordinate covalent bond. We also talked about ozone in the case of resonance. So ozone means what? We'll have a double bond with one oxygen and a coordinate covalent bond with another oxygen, and there will be a lone pair. See here, what you need to see is that central oxygen, right, has got one lone pair. This is the bond pair. Okay, one bond pair with one oxygen. And here what do we have? This is another point that we discussed in the postulates of the VSEPR theory. What is it? If between two atoms there are multiple bonds, means there is a double bond or a triple bond, we are not going to count them as separate positions. We will only going to count it as one. Okay, why? Because the bond will be between two atoms, right? So the other oxygen is only in one direction, which means the two bond, actually how many bond pairs are here? Two bond pairs are there, right? We are not going to give them separate positions in space. Both of them will be aligned in the same direction, which is the direction where the other oxygen atom is sitting, correct? So whenever you have a double bond, the double bond pair electrons will not be counted twice, it will be counted only once. Triple bond means that three bond pairs will come. The triple bond electrons, we will not count them like three bond pairs. We will only count them as what? One. This is the postulate that we discussed. Okay. Now you see how many positions we have to accommodate. 1, 2, 3. Correct. So oxygen in one trigonal planar corner, you will have a lone pair. Another trigonal planar, you will have a bond pair with one oxygen. Another trigonal planar corner, you will have that double bond pair with another oxygen. So this is what is the shape of the ozone. Okay, and again, when it comes to the shape, right, this is the arrangement. When it comes to shape, what you will say, the lone pair of electrons and central oxygen we cannot see. What you will see is an oxygen here, an oxygen there, and another oxygen. So what is the shape? It is the bent shape. Okay, and same will be the story with SO2 also. Okay, it will be very much similar. The only thing is what, central oxygen we are replacing it with what, sulfur. The only difference is central oxygen we are replacing with what, sulfur. So let us look at that. So if you have sulfur, right, so let us keep the sulfur. It will have a double bond with an oxygen and a coordinate covalent bond with another oxygen, and there is of course the lone pair. Okay, so if you give this kind of structure for SO2, right, now what we will be able to see, the sulfur, it has got one lone pair. Here we will have one bond pair, and this is a double bond. Double bond we will not count it two times, we will only count it once. One bond pair for the double bond. Okay, totally we have to give three positions. Means what, trigonal planar, correct. Trigonal planar, one corner is taken by the lone pair, which means we will only be able to see the positions of the oxygen atom and sulfur atom, right. So what is the overall shape we see? It is a bent shape. What is the overall shape we will see? It is a bent shape. Now just like the way we discussed about the distorted bond angle, the bond angle in this AB2 type of molecule, right, with a lone pair, that's why we are calling it as what, AB2E. E represents what, one lone pair. Okay, so in this AB2E type of molecule, the bond angle between that AB bond, right, what will be it? It will be less than 120 because of the lone pair bond pair repulsions more dominating. So in the case of SO2 and O3, right, we will see that the bond angles will be what, it will be less than 120. Okay, so this is about the shape of the molecule, which is of that formula AB2E. We are having how many valence electron pairs here? We are having 3 valential electron pairs. Okay, so 2 are the bond pairs and 1 is the lone pair. Now we'll go to the next example of 4 valence shell electron pairs. The 4 valence shell electron pairs, right, 3 are bond pairs and 1 is the lone pair. The popular example for this is NH3, NF3 and so on. So look at it. Nitrogen is forming 3 bonds with 3 hydrogens. Means what? We will be having 3 bond pairs, and nitrogen will have its own lone pair. So 1 lone pair. Totally what is the count? 4. 4 means what is the arrangement? Tetrahedral arrangement, isn't it? So you have the central atom. 3 corners of the tetrahedron are taken by 3 atoms. Another corner is taken by the lone pair. But when it comes to the shape, right, we have been saying the lone pairs cannot be seen. What you see is only the positions of the nuclei. So what will be the shape here? Since we cannot see this, right, what will be the shape that you are able to observe here? You will see, like if you take the example of NH3 itself, right, you will see a nitrogen. These are what? The 3 hydrogens. So we'll just call it. So it's like what? It is like a trigonal pyramidal shape. Why trigonal pyramidal? Because the base of the pyramid is triangular. That's why the what is a pyramid? You'll have the peak of the pyramid and you'll have the base, right? So what is it? It's a trigonal pyramidal shape. Okay, and in this nitrogen is sitting at the top of the pyramid like that. So the shape in this case is going to be what? Trigonal pyramid. So ammonia shape as well as NF3 shape is what? Trigonal pyramidal. Okay, and another thing is, if you look at the bond angle, so the nitrogen hydrogen, another nitrogen hydrogen bond angle, right? So normally as per the geometry, what is the expectation? Tetrahedral arrangement, right? Means we'll expect the bond angle is what? 109.5 degrees or 109 degrees 28 minutes, like that. Okay, but here what you will be able to observe is there is the nitrogen which is having the lone pair. So the lone pair bond pair, the lone pair bond pair repulsions are what? They will be stronger than the bond pair repulsion. As a result, what happens? These bond pairs will come little bit closer since the lone pair is more repelling. As a result, what we will see is that the bond angle, so if you look at the ammonia, right, the nitrogen hydrogen bond angle, it will be less than 109 degrees 28 minutes. In fact, it will be somewhere around 107 degrees. So why the decrease in bond angle? Because of the lone pair bond pair repulsions more dominating than the bond pair repulsions. They will distort the bond angle. So this is what we're talking about, the distortion of the bond angle. So both ammonia as well as NF3, right, both are examples of what? This shape. What is the shape here? Trigonal pyramidal shape. And what is the type of molecule that we can take it as? AB3E, means central atom is A, bonded to 3 atoms B, and 1 lone pair is there on the central atom. Okay, so this is about the shape of ammonia and NF3 type of molecules. Then we will come to 4 valence electron pairs, but 2 are bond pairs and 2 are lone pairs. Previously in case of ammonia, what is it that we have seen? 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. Here we have 2 bond pair and 2 lone pair. So what will be the molecule type? We can say it is AB2E2 type. 2 atoms of B bonding and 2 lone pair of electrons. Okay. Now if you look at the arrangement, same 4 valence electron pairs means what is the arrangement? Tetrahedral. But the thing is, in this, right, 2 of the corners are taken by the lone pair. So we will not be able to see them. We cannot see them, right? What you will be able to see is only the positions of the nuclei, which means you will see A, you will see a B, you will see another B. So what is the shape you say? It is the bent shape. What is the shape we will be able to observe? It is a bent shape. What is the example of molecule for this? H2O is an example. So the oxygen will form 2 bonds separately with hydrogen. Okay. So oxygen's 2 electrons are used. And apart from that, oxygen will also have 2 more lone pairs. Totally 4 valence shell electron pairs, 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. They will be arranged in the tetrahedral manner. The thing is, 2 of the corners are taken by what? Lone pair. Now here the interesting thing is, the lone pair and lone pair, they will repel each other. Lone pair, they will repel. And lone pair, bond pair repulsions will be stronger than bond pair and bond pair repulsions, correct? So here in case of water, H2O, what are we having actually? The lone pair repulsions are there, as well as lone pair bond pair repulsions, which means what you see here, there is a lone pair, another lone pair. These two will repel more strongly, and means what? They will tend to occupy more space. The lone pair and bond pair also will repel. So the cumulative effect of lone pair repulsions and lone pair bond pair repulsions, right, they will push the bond pair of electrons to come very much closer. In fact, if you look at the bond angle in case of water, right, it will be 104.5 degrees. The bond angle in case of water is what? 104.5. It will be less than the ammonia bond angle. So in case of ammonia, what is it that we had? We had only the lone pair bond pair repulsions which are dominating than bond pair. Here what are we having? Cumulative effect. You are having lone pair repulsions and lone pair bond pair repulsions. As a result, what is going to happen? This bond pair and bond pair, they will come very much close. So the bond angle is reduced to what? From the theoretical value. What is the theoretical value? 109 degrees 28 minutes or 109.5 degrees. From theoretical value, it is coming all the way up to 104.5 degrees. So this is the reason for the decrease of bond angle in the case of water. So what is the overall shape of water? We'll consider it as what? Bent shape. Next we look at the case where we have 5 valence shell electron pairs. In that, 4 will be the bond pair, 1 is the lone pair. So what will be the type of molecule? We can write it as what? AB4E. So 4 atoms of B bonded, they will all correspond to bond pairs, and 1 will be the lone pair. See, 5 means what is the arrangement? We said it is what? Trigonal bipyramidal, right? 5 means what is the arrangement? Trigonal bipyramidal. And in trigonal bipyramidal case, lone pair will have a preference to occupy the planar position, isn't it? Lone pair will have a preference to occupy the planar position. Means the planar position, first we will give the planar position for the lone pair. Okay. Then what do you see? The remaining positions have to be taken by the atoms of B, right? First preference we are giving for the lone pair. Lone pair we are going to first keep in the planar position. Only one lone pair is there, so we'll just keep it there. The other, there are 2 more positions in the plane. They will be taken by the atoms of B. And there is one axial position above, one axial position below. They are also taken by the atoms of B. Okay. But if you look at what is the shape of this molecule, as again we will not be able to see the lone pair, right? We will only see the other atoms. So look at this, what we are able to see. We'll see A, we'll see B, and we'll see the two B's over there. So this is what you will be able to see in terms of the shape. We'll only be able to see the positions of the nuclei. So if you look at this shape, right, this is like what? This is like the seesaw shape, isn't it? What is it? It's like a seesaw shape, right? So you'll have the line, okay, and then there will be, so what is the shape that we see? It is a seesaw shape, okay. So the example of molecule for this is what? SF4. So what is SF4? Sulfur is bonded to 4 fluorines, means what? You'll have 4 bond pairs, okay. This is not the geometrical representation, I am just trying to give the rough idea. After forming 4 bonds, sulfur will have its own lone pair. So 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. So this is what is the arrangement. So what will be the arrangement? Arrangement of the valence electron pairs is what? Trigonal bipyramidal. That is the arrangement. But when it comes to shape, we will not be able to see the lone pair of electrons. We will only be able to see the positions of nuclei. Hence, what is the shape we see here? It is like almost a seesaw shape. Then we will go to same 5 valence shell electron pairs, but 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. So what will be the type? You can consider it as A, B3, E2. So here 2 lone pairs are there. Remember, what is the preferential positions for the lone pair? Lone pair, in case of trigonal bipyramidal arrangement, lone pair will be taking the planar positions or equatorial plane position. Means look at it, one lone pair, another lone pair. First we will give the positions for the lone pairs, planar positions. The third planar position will be taken by the B. Of course, the other places are going to be taken by the atoms of B only, no. And the axial positions are also given for the atoms of B. So if you see the shape, right, what is it that you will see? You will not be able to see the lone pair. What you will be able to see? You will see an A, there is a B, there is a B, and so what is it? It's a T shape. What is the shape you will say? It is a T shape. In fact, people say it's a bent T shape. Why? You know, if you consider the distortions coming from the lone pair. So lone pair, bond pair repulsions are stronger, right? As a result, what you see is, it will be little bit bent T, because you know here lone pairs will be more dominating. Their repulsions are stronger. So what will be the shape that you can see? It is a bent T shape. Okay. If you consider the distortion coming because of the lone pair, bond pair repulsions dominating the bond pair and bond pair repulsion. Okay. So what is the example we can consider here? We can consider ClF3. So chlorine is bonded to 3 fluorines. Means what? 3 bond pairs will come. This is a rough representation. Okay. Then you know, chlorine will be having totally chlorine. What is the number of valence electrons? 7, right? 3 are used for the bonding, means it will have 4 more electrons, 2 pairs. So 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. So ClF3, right? You will have a chlorine. Okay. And this will have 2 fluorines along the axial line, 1 fluorine in the plane, and 2 more positions in the plane, right, will be taken by the lone pair. So what is the shape we see? Shape will be what? T shape, or we can say bent T shape. Okay. If you are looking at why that bent T shape is coming, it is coming because of the distortion created due to the stronger lone pair, bond pair repulsions. Next we will go into the 6 valence shell electron pairs category. So in this, right, we are considering the example where you have 5 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. 5 bond pairs and then 1 lone pair. So look at this. If you have 5 bond pairs, right, means what? The 5 atoms surrounding. So it will be like what? A, B, 5, E. Totally, what is the count? 6, right? 6 means what is the geometry? The arrangement is what? Octahedral. Octahedral means 4 positions in the plane, 1 above and 1 below. 2 axial positions, 4 planar positions. But octahedral, what is the preference for the lone pair of electrons? Lone pair of electrons will be occupying the axial positions, correct? So only 1 lone pair is there. See here, we are giving a axial position for the lone pair. Okay. Now all the remaining positions are going to be taken by what? Atoms of B. Just fill it. Now when it comes to the shape, right, remember we will not be able to see the lone pair, isn't it? Arrangement is octahedral, but shape means we cannot see the lone pair. So what you will be able to see is only the 4 atoms of B, which are at the corners of the square. You can see here we have a B, here we have a B, here we have a B, 4 atoms of B, and then one B is there at the top. So here we are at the center of the square, you have A. What is this shape? The shape is what? Square pyramid. Why are we saying square pyramid? Because there is a square planar surface, that's why it is a square pyramid. Okay, so in case of ammonia, right, what is the shape? We said it is a trigonal pyramid, because the bottom plane is what? Triangular shape. So what is the example for this? BrF5. Bromine is forming 5 bonds with fluorine. Means how many are there? There will be 5, totally 5 bond pairs. Okay, so 5 bond pairs, and bromine will have how many valence electrons? Normally 7, right? 5 are used for bonding, means 2 more will be there, that is what? 1 lone pair, totally 6. So this is of what? It is of AB5E type molecule. Okay, what is the example for this? BrF5. And what will be the shape of this? Square pyramid. Now in any example, right, first what you will do is, whenever a molecule is given, like say they are giving us BrF5 and then saying what will be the shape of BrF5, what we need to do? Find, we need to first find what is the number of bond pair of electrons, what is the number of lone pair of electrons on the central atom, and then using the total number of electrons we will first go for the geometry. What is the arrangement? Once we give the geometry, right, by of course looking at the special rules where the lone pairs will go, once we fix that, then just cover up the lone pair of electrons positions, because you cannot see them. The remaining part is what is going to give us the shape. Like here what we did, we covered up the position of the lone pair of electrons, then we see what is the remaining part. The remaining part is like what? Square pyramid. That is why the shape is what? Square pyramid shape. Next we look at same 6 valence electron pairs, but 4 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. We can say this is like what? AB4E2 type. Now remember 2 lone pairs are there, right? So totally 6. 6 means what is the arrangement? Octahedral arrangement. But octahedral arrangement, the preference for the lone pair of electrons is what? Axial. How many lone pairs are there? 2. Means you see one lone pair is occupying one axial position, another lone pair is occupying another axial position. That's it. Both the axial positions are over. Now the remaining places are what? The places in the plane. They are all taken by the atoms of B. If you want to know what is the shape, right, can you see the lone pairs? We cannot see the lone pair. What you will see, there is an atom A and 4 corners of the square are taken by what? Atoms of B. So what do you say about the shape of this? You are not able to see what is above the plane and what is below the plane, right? You are only seeing that there are 4 atoms at the corners of the square, B atoms, and A is at the center of the square. So what is the shape? You say it is a square planar shape. Understand again why are you saying square planar? Because the lone pair that is above the plane and lone pair that is below the plane, both the axial positions we cannot see. We only see the positions of the nuclei. Means what is the shape we will be able to see here? Square planar shape. Example for this is XeF4. So xenon is forming 4 bonds with 4 fluorines. Okay, so this is the rough, means what? 4 bond pairs. And xenon, what is the number of valence electrons? It is 8 valence electrons, isn't it? Noble gas element. Okay, so after forming 4 bonds, it will be left with its own 4 electrons, which means 2 pairs. So it will be what? 2 lone pairs. So normally when we talk about the Lewis theory and all that, what we say that noble gases, they do not participate in chemical bonding, but we see that the noble gas elements like xenon, radon, they will be able to form compounds, stable compounds. Xenon will be forming stable compounds with both oxygen as well as fluorine. We'll study about them when we go to the P block in the +2. Okay, so this is about the shape of XeF4. We'll look at some questions. Look at this one. What is the shape of XeF6? What is the shape of XeF6? So XeF6 means what? Xenon. So first what we'll do, this is the approach. So I'll just take you through. Xenon will have, what is the number of valence electrons of xenon? 8 valence electrons. Using this, it is forming how many bonds with fluorines? 6 fluorines it is bonded to so it is bonded to how many fluorines? 6 fluorines, means 6 electrons are used. So we will get accordingly 6 bond pairs will come. If 6 electrons of that xenon are used, it will be left with how many electrons of its own? 2 electrons, means 1 lone pair. So on xenon, what is the total number of valence electron pairs? 6 bond pairs and then 1 lone pair. Totally what is it count? It is what? 7 valence shell electron pairs. 7 means what is the arrangement? What is the arrangement? It is what? Pentagonal bipyramidal. Correct. So what is pentagonal bipyramidal? You will have a plane in which there will be 5 positions, like the corners of the pentagon. Okay, and one is above the plane, so we can probably draw with a dotted line or something. So one is above the plane and one will be below the plane. Okay, so this is the pentagonal bipyramidal. Now the thing is, in pentagonal bipyramidal, where the lone pairs will go? Lone pair will be occupying, what is the preference for the lone pair? In trigonal bipyramidal, lone pair will go for what? Planar, equal plane position. Octahedral means axial. Pentagonal bipyramidal means again planar. Okay, so one of the plane positions is taken by the lone pair, means other positions will be all for what? Fluorine. So we'll have 4 fluorines in the plane, 1 above, 1 below. We'll have 4 fluorines in the plane, 1 above and then 1 below. Okay, so if you look at it, this is what is the arrangement we'll have. I'm talking about the arrangement, but they are asking us what shape. Now when it comes to shape, right, you will not be able to see this lone pair that is in the plane. Can you see that? You will not be able to see it, right? Now what you will be able to see? You will see that you have xenon. There are 4 fluorines in the plane. Correct. 1 above, 1 below. Think about it. Have you heard about this somewhere else? 4 atoms or 4 positions in the plane, 1 above and 1 below. What is it? This is octahedral, right? This is what? Octahedral. But what is the difference here? In octahedral, right, the 4 positions will be what? In the plane will be pointing to the corners of the square. Correct. This is the octahedral, right? 4 positions in the plane will be pointing to the corners of the square. You will have 1 above and 1 below. Correct. Here also we have 4 positions in the plane and 1 above, 1 below. So what do you say? We will say it is a distorted octahedral shape. See, when you're commenting on the shape, we have to be careful. So what you see, sometimes some of these names, right, they are being taken based upon some similarities or what we say as the coherence. Like you have 4 positions in the plane, 1 above, 1 below is octahedral, right? But the plane is a little bit distorted. That's why we are calling it as what? Distorted octahedral. Okay, so what is the geometrical arrangement of the valence electron pairs? It is the pentagonal bipyramidal arrangement. But when it comes to the shape, what are we saying? We are saying it as what? Distorted octahedral shape. So these kind of things we have to be looking at. Then look at this one. What is the shape of XeO3? So in XeO3, like xenon will be forming double bonds with each of the oxygen. How many double bonds? With each oxygen it will form a double bond, means it will form 3 double bonds. Xenon will normally have how many electrons? 8 electrons, right? So here it is giving 2 electrons, here it is giving 2 electrons, here it is giving 2 electrons. Remaining will be what? Remaining will be how much? 2 electrons, means 1 pair. So we'll have 1 lone pair, and see, each double bond pair already we talked about it. Are we going to count it like 2 bond pairs? No, we only count as what? 1. Even if you have a triple bond, means we'll count it only what? 1 position. So we'll have 3 bond pairs. Each of them are bond pairs corresponding to the double bond. That we need to keep in mind, because a double bond means we are not going to give them different positions. Double bond, right? The bond pair of electrons will be counted only as what? 1. So totally what are we having? We are having 4 positions to be taken. Means what will be the arrangement? It is what? Tetrahedral arrangement. What is the arrangement? Tetrahedral. Okay, so look at it. In tetrahedral, right, what we'll have is one of the position will be taken by the lone pair. One of the position is taken by what? Lone pair. Other 3 positions are taken by what? Oxygen. But when it comes to the shape, can you see the lone pair? You cannot see the lone pair, right? You will not be able to see it. What you see is only xenon. Okay. Already we have seen a similar example like this. What is it? It is what? Trigonal pyramidal, just like the NH3 case. So what is the trigonal pyramidal shape? Okay, so this is about the shape of the XeO3. Look at this one, which has a least bond angle. Obviously, when you have questions like this, right, they will give us good number of times, they will give us the molecules having similar geometrical arrangement. When I say similar geometrical arrangement, the geometrical arrangement of the valence shell electron pairs based upon the VSEPR theory. Sometimes they may give us like non-related molecules also. That once we do little bit of practice means we will be able to answer those questions. So here, luckily we have what are these? Methane, carbon tetrachloride, ammonia and water. We have to tell which of them will have the least bond angle. See, methane and carbon tetrachloride, right? Carbon is what? It is basically bonded to 4 hydrogens in methane. It is bonded to 4 chlorines in CCl4. So carbon is surrounded by 4 bond pairs in both the examples. That's it. So what is the arrangement? It is what? Tetrahedral arrangement, means the bond angle will be what? 109.5 degrees. Both the cases. In both the cases it is going to be what? 109.5 degrees. And what about ammonia? We already talked about it. Ammonia, there will be 1 lone pair for the nitrogen and 3 bond pairs. Arrangement is tetrahedral, but one of the position is taken by what? Lone pair. This lone pair bond pair repulsions, right, will be dominating than bond pair repulsions. As a result, what is going to happen? These bond pairs will come little bit closer, and we said that the bond angle will be coming closer to what? 107. It will be reduced. It will be less than what? It will be less than the tetrahedral bond angle. When it comes to water, here oxygen will have 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. Again, the arrangement is what? Tetrahedral, but here we will have 2 of the corners taken by what? Lone pair. Here we will be having lone pair repulsions and lone pair bond pair repulsion. So as a result, what you will see is that the bond pair will come even more closer than in the case of ammonia. Ammonia means we have only what? The lone pair bond pair repulsions which are dominating the bond pair. But in this case, what we have? Lone pair repulsions are there. Lone pair bond pair repulsions also there. So they will repel in such a way that the bond pair of electrons will come even more closer. So we will see the bond angle to be what? 104.5 degrees. So which of them is having a least bond angle here? What is the answer for this? It is H2O. So like this, if you have example which are having similar geometry, means we will be able to comment on the bond angle by the help of what? The order of these repulsions. What is the order? Lone pair repulsions are stronger than lone pair bond pair than bond pair. So this is why we say that the existence of lone pairs, right, will be distorting the bond angle. That is one. And second thing is what? Since we cannot see the lone pair of electrons, when we are commenting on the shape, right, we have to consider that. So this is about the examples of molecules where there are lone pairs of electrons on the central atom, and this broadly covers the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory.